on the Flow Anime Podcast to host the ultimate One Piece discussion. Now that a lot of us are now caught up, it is time to get down to business on this legendary series and find out the truths behind the One Piece.
Says the one guy that's not caught up.
Whoa.
Like,
Relax.
Says the one guy.
I would not be taking any One Piece bash from you.
What?
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
What do you
actually that brings me to my first question. Anyone, as people who are either caught up or closer to caught up, anyone who's not caught up, how much like credence do y'all give their opinions? Like in their
It depends on where they are and what they're actually talking about. It's like for example, shout out to Archie. Archie saying Alabasta is the best arc in One Piece is just like
relax.
Like you clearly.
When did you say that?
He said it like a couple of months ago. Like you clearly haven't watched the rest of it. Like because no way are you watching.
I'm pretty sure he's saying like past Marineford. I thought.
No way you
I'm
watching
sure in the
Marineford.
Timeskip. I thought.
I don't think he reached Marineford. I don't think he's reached it yet.
I thought he did.
But even that, like,
It
do
might have
you know
changed.
how crazy? It doesn't matter what the series is. We could be talking about Detective Conan. If you've still read 300 chapters of Detective Conan, there's no other piece of media that we have this, no matter how long it is. If you've read first Deuteronomy,
all right, hold on. That's the Bible. That's
okay.
the Bible.
No, I'm saying like,
okay, but
I'm saying
I'm
saying you can't like.
The problem is
you can have an opinion.
God is watching.
God
is watching you.
See, the problem is not that he like says like One Piece is mid or something. Like if he's talking about the entire series, all right, fine, that's his opinion. He's seen up to Alabasta. I can't judge that. That's like over 100 episodes at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, cool. The problem is that he said Alabasta is the best of the series, and we're like, you haven't seen the rest of the fucking series.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so how are you gonna say something is the best of the series that you haven't seen the entire complete series? That's my issue with that take. As for his take on One Piece in general, that's whatever he feels. You know, if he thinks it's mid, he thinks it's mid. I can't change that.
I'm gonna say something to Cardiac's point. I think this might be a slightly hot take.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you just don't like One Piece, I feel like you got to skip certain episodes and just jump an arc or two. The reason why
You can go ahead and log off.
Wait, no,
Not gonna lie. I second that.
Let me finish.
RJ, we found the fake One Piece fan.
I'm gonna need you to clock out.
We're gonna get to you.
I'm glad you took off that chopper hat. I'm glad you took it off. I'm glad you took. No, don't put it back on. No, don't take it
I still
off.
got the Tony chopper
No,
hat
don't put
right
it back
now,
on.
bro. That's not playing.
We're good.
That's not playing.
But you skipped the
Wait.
No, let me.
I want to hear.
I can't jump by 3
Is that a Boruto poster behind you? I'm seeing.
I don't even like those again.
Oh, it was a gift.
What does this have to do with One Piece?
Wow, I do see that. That's crazy.
I don't even like Boruto.
A sneak Boruto fan has entered.
Somebody just gave me that to give when the series just started.
Nah.
It wasn't even 50 episodes though.
He's an implant.
I'm fucking with you. Finish your point. Go ahead. Go for it.
But no. So this is why I said it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been keeping up with One Piece since I've been in like middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been years. But I feel like the reason why I say that, and I don't think that's supposed to be for every person, it's not a universal thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I first got into One Piece, it's when it was on Toonami. I didn't even know what the arc was about. I just saw the emotion of what the characters was doing during that arc, which was Eni's lobby. It was past Water 7, Eni's lobby. And I was so fascinated by like the characters' bonds. It was just so different than anything that I saw at the time. So to me, it grabbed my attention immediately. So I'm saying somebody who's like never been exposed to One Piece, seeing a very intense moment like that, even with characters that's so unique and dynamic, you can instantly feel it because the way One Piece is driven, you can feel like how heavy the story and the surrounding off of the emotions of the characters. Now, I'm saying if somebody saw that and it was exposed to like a scene, like we all go on YouTube shorts, you probably see an anime clip here and there. Mm-hmm. It's out of context. Maybe it's season 2. It may make us want to watch the entirety of the first season just to get to the second season. So that's how I feel that some people can feel based on One Piece. That's what I'm trying to say.
But you're saying at the start you said
arc,
you're saying like people should skip episodes.
Okay, well maybe that was
certain episodes. Like what sort of episodes should they skip? I mean, like you know?
I think my phrasing of it was wrong. I don't think they should just go ahead and skip. But I think if they are shown and displayed something in One Piece, because I feel like One Piece is a story that constantly evolves as you keep watching and goes on, and especially when you get new characters and new scenery, new locations. I feel like the characters and the locations mix well together. So I feel like, and let's say somebody watched a crazy moment, maybe 3 episodes of Marineford, and they see all this about the characters, and they're excited, and they're like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to see that character, that character, that character. They may be more interested to start the series from the beginning versus like, okay, I don't know what One Piece is. Let me just go straight into it from episode 1. It's going to be entirely different. But that expectation of what, it can get to here may make them start that first episode.
No, I hear that. I hear that. Yeah. So my follow-up to that is then, if you were to recommend any episodes or not even episodes, like specific moments within One Piece to like show to someone who's like a newbie who's never seen it before, to like get them into, essentially, into why you love One Piece, but like, getting them excited to watch it. What would like 3 moments? What would they be without spoiling it too much as well? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would personally recommend Water 7. Because first off, it introduces it instantly shows the dynamic between like, oh yeah, we're all crewmates or friends or whatever, Nakama. Then it has that little arc with Luffy and Usopp, and then from that it shows Zoro's reaction to it, Nami's reaction, the whole entire crew. Then it also introduces Frankie, and then if they want to explore the next arc, which is Enies Lobby, I would recommend that as well because I feel like they're good tie-ins. Yeah,
I don't mean to cut you off, but like these are arcs themselves. So like that means that you're actually telling them watch this arc because this arc might get you into watching the whole One Piece as well. But I'm saying moments because you mentioned moments, right? Like what moment? For example, we can all think of moments within the war or even right now in the latest episodes that I could say, if you go watch this specific moment, like Zoro versus King, you're gonna want to watch One Piece. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's make it quicker. I got you. Let's make it quicker. Luffy going Gear 2 for the first time.
Okay.
I think that's solid. Luffy going Gear 2. Yeah, I'll say Luffy going Gear 2. I'll say the reaction of, what is it? It's not the death. It's when Luffy gets separated from the crew. I forgot what that's called. When he gets separated from the crew, I feel that's a very emotional scene, and people can feel attacked. Not automatically, but I feel like people can get attached to that. It's when right before the 2-year thing.
Okay, yeah.
Before time skip. Is that when Kuma comes out? Like,
when Kuma's talking him up.
So the prison. Okay.
No,
when Kuma first get there,
the end of Sabo,
and he gets separated, and you see the emotions. Luffy crying. I feel like those are 2 really good moments. One is the emotional side, and one is like the fighting side. I think those either or will match well with people.
So I have gotten like several people to watch One Piece, right? Because the big thing is the length, right? A lot of people, I don't want to commit that. The one moment I have shown literally all of them. This is like 8 people I've gotten to watch this show that are now in love with One Piece, my father included. The one moment I show them is the climax of not the climax, but kind of the best moment in Arlong Park when Nami is stabbing herself and Luffy stops. Because it's old One Piece. It's the old animation style, so they know what they're going to get into from the first episode. It's early on. It's like episode 40 something. So it's a commitment, but not that big of a commitment. And you show them that, and everyone's like, "What is going on? Like, why she's stabbing herself? Like, what is going on?" And that gets them every time.
And that's where I was gonna go, right? Because I think with the whole they got to get to this certain arc, they got to skip to this certain thing. I was gonna go to Arlong Park, like RJ said, because I think that's early enough on that realistically you don't really have to. Like, yes, there is the thing of showing someone something to get them into it, but realistically, like if you can get to that point. So like once they get to that point, if they're not fucking with it from that, it's like, okay, well, to me, they don't gotta go see Enies Lobby moments. They don't gotta, because that moment in itself shows you enough in terms of what this is gonna be about. It's about the crew.
What froze?
So he paused for everybody else too, right?
No, yeah.
Okay. We all seeing this. Okay.
I just hope not on the recording.
But yeah, if my
right in the middle of something as well.
My thing is, if you reach Arlong Park and you're not fucking with One Piece, then One Piece not for you.
I feel like that's fair.
One Piece not for you.
That's
fair.
Sorry.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Now, my hot take.
That was going to be my first question, actually. My next question, actually.
My hot take is the one thing holding One Piece back is the fandom. I'm sorry. One Piece fans.
What do you mean by fandom?
You think it's just the fandom?
One Piece fans can be
a
lot. And I'm a One Piece fan, and we can be a lot. We
when you say a lot, what do you mean by that?
We know this series. Let's be honest, is one of the best piece of fictions ever written. Let's be honest here. we know it is, right? So then we
let me look in real quick.
We act.
Oh yeah, I would say same here because I gotta be the contrarian for this pod.
We act accordingly, and it can be too much. It can put people off because when people criticize the series in any manner, you got a drove of One Piece fans questioning you like they're the FBI. Well, how far did you get in this series? Well, do you even like this certain character? What do you mean you didn't believe that Marineford was 10 out of 10? Like, what do you mean you didn't like this certain scene? Even people who'd be like, I like One Piece, I just didn't like what you liked about it. They're like, oh, well, fuck you. What do you mean you don't think Shanks can beat Mihawk? Like it can be too
I hear where you're coming from, RJ.
Yeah.
But my thing is, the one recurring thing I hear from people that hate on One Piece is the timing.
Yeah.
And how long it takes.
Yeah.
It's the one recurring thing. And with that, there's not much you can say other than if you don't enjoy the story, then fuck off, mate. Like, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing here?
I agree.
If you don't enjoy the storyline, you shouldn't be watching it. But other than that, like, I don't know if One Piece, like, true fans really get out all the like newbies or people that are not really into One Piece. I mean, other than the ones that don't have, like, for example, your boy that said that Alabasta is the best arc that he's ever seen, he's clearly not seen enough of One Piece to say that, you know. And maybe he's giving his judgment. He's giving his judgment based on like 100 episodes, and you know, past Alabasta gets way better than that. You know, again, it's just the time and how many episodes there is.
Yeah.
Like, look at River. River, like, watched in the space of what? 4 years? 4 years?
6?
Well, more than that, buddy.
Yeah.
6 or something?
I just feel like it's the constant drag of, oh, you got to get to this, or you got to get to that, or you got to get to this, or you got to get to that. I feel like for a newbie nowadays, if they got into One Piece without interacting with the One Piece fandom first, they would enjoy the series a lot more. I feel like because that's the reason why we enjoy the series, right? Like, the One Piece fandom wasn't always as big as it is now, right?
Well, RJ,
especially not in the West.
Also, you like right now, like, a lot of people have short-term like span of attention.
Yeah,
like a lot of people can't focus on something for too long.
Yeah,
you know. So when something gets too long, as past 12 episodes, they're like, "Oh, where are we going with this?" Whereas our generation that started watching One Piece when it first came out, we were like, "Oh shit, this is a journey." Like, you looked forward to it every weekend when it came on TV. I started watching One Piece on TV. I didn't even know what anime was.
Yeah, but I kind of question that though, because like, in terms of the modern base of One Piece fans, a lot of these are COVID fans. Like, a lot of like the new fan base,
COVID
like,
fans is crazy.
I just mean,
we know what you mean.
yeah, and so like, those are the same people who like come from a Grey's Anatomy former fan base. These are the same people who come from watching. Watched Lost however many years ago, watched Game of Thrones turn into the heaping pile of shit that apparently the final season is. So like, these are people who have proven that they are down for like long adventures. Now granted, that's still nothing compared to don't get me wrong, but I think that it's less of that and more so the fact that like, there is a natural barrier when you do reach like a certain, and specifically a length that like nothing else compares to. Like, no other piece of fiction outside of anime and manga that I can recall, that I can think of, compares to the length and legacy of this series. So like, that being a natural barrier, I don't think like even the caveat of, well, we in a TikTok generation. It's like, niggas still watch like 30-part TikToks. Like, this shit is just insanely super pause on this long. This shit is insanely long, and the community is crazy big.
To counteract that, though, I'm 100% like, I'm a believer that when you actually watch One Piece, going in, you're like, oh my god, it's too long, right? When you actually watch it, shit not long enough, bro. I'm sorry, it's shit not like it doesn't feel that like because you're blowing through all these episodes and you're blowing through all these arcs and you're just like, man. I mean, I don't know what River was on. 4 years is crazy. But for me, when I got into One Piece was the anime was at Fishman Island. And I watched the 4 kids.
That's like 8 years ago.
I watched the 4 kids. All right, chill. I watched the 4 kids version when I was a kid on Tsunami. I didn't like it because clearly 4 kids. And then I went back to it and I was in high school and I was like, let me check out One Piece, right? Funimation redubbed it. They're re-releasing episodes, and it was at Fishman Island. The time skip had just happened in the anime, and I started watching One Piece in episode 1. I caught up. I caught up in about like 4 months. 4 months now. Granted,
that's about similar to me. Actually,
granted,
I mean, I never caught up, but like I got to like episode 8 something.
Now, granted, I'm not telling anyone to have my anime watching habits, but. All I'm saying.
Now, Omar, were you quicker? Weren't you like 3 months or some shit?
Nah, definitely not. I'm not gonna lie. It was probably around. Let's see. I had a full-time job back then too. That's crazy.
It's
what you saying?
It's not that. Like,
what you saying?
Once you get invested, it's not. It doesn't feel. It is that long, but it doesn't feel that long once you get invested. Like once you start.
Right. It took me less than a year for sure.
Watching once you just start watching the story, it's the same feeling you get from binging the other big 3 like Bleach or Naruto, like because no one comes at their lengths and they're over 300 episodes. Let's be honest, 300 episodes is also a lot. Like, but
yes.
no one ever says Naruto and Bleach are too long, right? Because
I mean,
the investment
to counteract that,
work.
the you said what, Cardiac?
I was saying, like, people have that criticism.
Yeah.
For the very least, Naruto.
I think to counteract that is really the filler. I think the biggest difference between One Piece and like Naruto and Bleach is like with Naruto and Bleach, you can skip like 40 to 50% of the show because it is just filler. You can skip it.
That's true.
With One Piece, it's like you can't just skip episodes most of the time because like you just got to deal with filler being put in the episode before you can see 2 minutes of some shit actually happening at the end. Sometimes. True. That's not all the time, but sometimes that happens. So it's like, fuck. So when you're getting in those parts, that's where it feels long as shit. I'm not gonna lie. But when you're at the stuff where it's like it's smooth, it's rolling, it's like, damn, this is fire. You know what I'm saying? I could be long.
You know, we at the One Piece community have heard y'all complaints, and that's why we're getting an anime remake. Shout out Studio Wit. You know, if you want a quicker version than that, we got the live action on Netflix. You know, shout out that studio as well. You know,
I was told not to call this a franchise, by the way. I was told not to call this.
We also got the remake OVA movies of each arc. You know, literally an hour of your time. That's all I'm saying. There's no reason, and you know, you could just pick up the manga if all that's too much.
Or One Piece.
There's no.
Okay, well, what is hate towards One Piece, man?
No. Let me get this straight. You would rather redirect, let's say a new fan, for example.
No.
You would rather redirect a new fan to new pieces of media, external media, rather than an optimal form of the media that you are actually advocating for?
Let's talk.
See, that word optimal is the problem right there. That word optimal.
But what's the problem with One Piece, though?
One Piece cuts too much.
I've never seen it. Like, what is it?
It's a cut version of one of the regular One Piece anime, fan edited, where they cut out the kind of extra fluff that Toei puts into the animation to make the episodes longer, so they don't catch up to the manga. And it is,
when you say extra fluff, do you mean like, you know, the what those little cut scenes that happens in the middle, the beginning?
So like, you know how like when like they clash or something in One Piece and it cuts to someone's face and it cuts to someone else's face and it cuts to someone else's face and it cuts to someone else's face and it cuts to the main thing and then the clash and it cuts to someone else's face and and it does that like it cuts,
90s anime.
It cuts all of that out. It's like cutting the screaming matches in Dragon Ball out.
But between those moments, there's like conversation happening. No?
Exactly. Exactly my problem. It cuts out too much, and I don't think the people, you know, I don't know them, but no personal attack. I don't think the people cutting One Piece understands pacing. They just are cutting out they're cutting out too much of the fluff, And so as someone who did watch One Piece and had watched the episodes, I was like, well, you cut out, like, this person's reaction is important because that's gonna let you know a later reveal. That
give me like an example.
So the one example I know of is it's the episode where Luffy first gets to Wano and he fights that sumo guy, and he clashes with the sumo guy, and it cuts to Luffy's face, and it cuts to the sumo guy's face, and I think it cuts to Tama's face, and it cuts to everyone else's face, and then it cuts back to the clash. In One Piece, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, in One Piece, they cut out the crowd's face, and that kind of takes away from the fact of, spoilers for Wano, the smile fruit that you see throughout the crowd and you see throughout all of that. And they later talk about it in the story, but it's the visual storytelling that brings it all together, in my opinion.
Now you're like, what the fuck? Like, what did I miss?
Yeah, it's the visual storytelling that brings it all together, in my opinion, that makes it what it is. Now, can some stuff be cut? Clearly, the Fishman Island remake arc proves that stuff can be cut. But I think One Piece cuts too much, in my opinion.
Just as someone who watched, I guess, I don't know, at least I don't know how much of One Piece I necessarily, but I watched a good portion of One Piece through One Piece. I do feel like, at least from that point with the Smile Food thing, they did still include a lot of that visual storytelling in there, because you saw a lot of the people smiling, you saw a lot of those things kind of going on before the inevitable reveal in the end. So granted, they may have cut certain moments that's like, okay, we'll maybe add to it, but like they're not cutting out enough to where you're not at least getting the same visual storytelling, just maybe not as much of it as, so I see that. I think the biggest thing that I got, which was like, because again, I watched most of it and it seemed pretty smooth, but for some reason when I got to Egghead, right, for some reason they cut out part of the Lucci versus Luffy fight. I was like, wait a minute, I definitely missed some. There is no way we went from this to this. I was like, okay, let me go tap into the anime. Yeah, they literally were fighting and they cut. I was like, there's no way. I mean, maybe they put it later. But I don't know.
At that moment, I don't see why you'd want to watch Wano or even Egghead on One Piece.
Wano, Egghead, you don't need to. Wano though, bro. If I wasn't, hey, once when I went from One Piece to normal One Piece, I seen the difference. That shit was longer.
Nah, but maybe I could say maybe watch Dressrosa on One Piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck. Them three big old arcs after Timeskip, no cap. If I would have watched that using like One Piece, I might have like caught up to One Piece. Just because I just wouldn't have been so like burnt out from the bullshit in that fucking scene. Oh my god, I hate this shit.
The majority of the best moments in Wano I've seen through the anime. Like once you get to the good episodes, like you really don't know, like there isn't really any fluff or anything. But there is still fluff in like some of the bullshit episodes of Wano. Like the stuff that happens in between certain parts where they're just like doing whatever the fuck in the castle, just fighting who cares who, and literally there's who's who that Jinbei. But anyways,
Wow.
That shit.
It just goes back to the problem of, do you understand pacing? And I don't think the people who cut One Piece understands pacing, because there are some things within One Piece that need that slow pacing. Like pacing isn't, for any show, not just One Piece, for any show, pacing isn't consistent throughout. There are some scenes that need to slow down. There are some scenes that need to speed up. There are some scenes that need to go just at a normal, fluid pace. And for One Piece, they're just like, no, every scene, we need to get to the point. And it's like, that's not good pacing
from story beat to story beat instead of from
that's not good pacing for any
detail.
type, like One Piece included. That's not good story pacing for any type of media, if you ask me.
I guess I just didn't see that too crazy, because like there were even some moments I was watching One Piece, it was still dragging. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe some points they did it, some points they didn't. So I feel you. I think, I don't know. I just think One Piece gets a bit too bad of a rap. You know what I'm saying? That's all my point is, really. I think it's a little.
Or are you just defending your sins?
Right. You phony.
Oh my.
But also didn't you watch arc summaries for One Piece?
Wow. You know what's worse?
Okay, that wasn't.
You know what's worse than One Piece? Watching anime at 2.5 speeds. That's what's worse than One Piece. You want to talk about that, Cardiac? Watching anime at 2.5?
Talk about it.
Whoa. Okay. First and foremost, I've never done this for One Piece. So let's not. Let's not.
She done it for anime in general. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I stand by what I say. A Kaiba Maid War is the greatest anime ever at 1.5 speed. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God. A Kaiba Maid War is gas on 1.5. The fights are better. The jokes land better. The comedic timings. Everything's better at 1.5 in that show specifically.
Blasphemy.
Now, what I will say is...
Blasphemy.
Hey, man, that reminds me of Black Clover while I'm asleep.
I will say... well, first off, I do think that there is... there's something that goes unaddressed when we talk about broadcasting these different shows, right? Mm-hmm. First and foremost, all these shows are still made to be played on Japanese television. All right? First and foremost. So the fact that there is very little adjustment from the broadcast that is supposed to be on TVs in a foreign language and in a foreign place, and the whether it's the expectation or whether it's some of the pride that's had, or whether it's just like, you know, some of the debates or conversation that's had about like altering these different things, I find very interesting when it comes to altering it for both a different audience in a different country for a different language, and ain't nobody watching anime on the TV over here. So when it comes to that, and specifically for One Piece, which has been a 25 plus year, almost 30 years. Shit, fuck 25 plus. A 30-year television broadcast. How do you all feel about the potential alterations to it, whether it's adapting it for a new medium as a live action, One Piece, basically just having these different forms of engaging with One Piece? How do y'all feel as fans of it, of having these alternate means?
I've been talking too much, so someone else.
Oh my God!
You know what, Umar? You can go first, bro.
What are y'all?
Anybody.
So think about how I think it's just branching out to reach more people at that point, like especially with the Netflix show. That one I've seen people come up to me and they said, "Have you heard about this show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have actually."
Have I heard about One Piece?
We don't want to start this topic. No, but that I just tell them that that's based off of this show, and then it's based off of this manga, and we start talking, and they say they like the show, and I've heard good reviews about it from anime watchers. Not me though. I didn't watch that one. I didn't watch it. So, but I heard it was animated well. I heard it does justice. In one pace, helps other people try to catch up to the show, like River. Sadly enough. I mean, I wouldn't suggest One Piece to anyone. But if they were really struggling, no, like just go on One Piece. If you're really struggling at that point. But I think what?
How far does that line go? If they're really, really struggling, would you tell them to watch an arc summary?
Oh.
No, I'm not accusing you of watching. I'm just asking. You just got here. Shut up.
Bro,
I'm having a conversation with Omar.
No, I would never tell anyone to say watch an arc summary though, because that would just cut out way too much. I think that would cut out way too much of the tense moments, the emotional, the fights, just everything in general. To be honest, I think that would just cut out too much. Like One Piece, at least it like stretches it out a little bit farther, even though it takes out some of that emotional moments and everything.
That's fair.
But yeah,
if you have to watch it,
froze again.
R.I.P. River. If you have to watch an arc summary, then drop the show, bro.
Honestly,
what are you doing? It's not that serious. You don't enjoy it. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Like he's really pushing tooth and nail to get that show done. I'm like, bro, just give it up.
Yeah, at that point, you watching just to be part of something instead of enjoying it. Yeah. But what's it called? And that's when I realized when I should stop watching. Which, to be fair, I didn't stop watching One Piece because I wasn't enjoying it. I'll be honest. I just decided that because I have limited time to watch anime. I enjoy watching a variety of whether it be genres, stories, or whatnot, as opposed to dedicating that time to keeping up with One Piece or catching up to One Piece. But even beyond that, by the time that I was kind of hopping off of it, there was this bickering within the community about post-time skip One Piece and the conversations of that quality. But since then, it's been 3 years. We've had Wano finish up, we've had Egghead, as well as another. Thinking another.
And the manga.
In the manga,
Alabama.
And in the manga, we're at Alabama.
Yeah. So, in terms of an adjustment or a update on that convo of the quality of post-time skip One Piece, how are we feeling on some updated opinions, or was that opinion always bullshit, that it was a little bit lesser than?
The question is,
what do you mean,
like post? Like
I don't get it.
The question is post time skip One Piece worse than pre-time skip? Is that the question?
It has, because okay, well, let me ask this question: Do y'all think that, let's say, time skip to end a whole cake, do y'all think that retains the same level of quality as like pre-time skip One Piece?
No.
End of whole cake. So you're talking about from Fishman Island to whole cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, because I feel like for me, it's different. It is different. I'm not saying that it's not different, but different doesn't equal worse. So
yeah,
I feel like the whatchamacallit, post pre-time skip is kind of a very, very long establishing story of this crew and kind of how the world has changed them. We get all the crew's backstory. We get everything from, besides Jinbei, of course, but we get the crew's backstory and things like that. And we establish this crew's like this worldwide phenomenon. They become the famous crew they are. And now it's about how the crew is changing the world. So it's kind of different. A lot of people, you're not going to get the same type of story beats. You're not going to get that much time of the crew just goofing around on a ship, because this is part 2 of the story where shit has to happen. And the shit that has happened has upped the quality, has matched the quality of the establishing kind of why you care, right? It is a very long why you care, but it's why you care about all the shit that's happening in the post time skip. It is because you care about these characters, you know their backstories.
Yeah, I feel like just to piggyback off what I just said, like pre-time skip kind of like sets you up for what One Piece is gonna be, and like post-time skip is more you're getting into the meat of like, okay, this is the meaning behind what these guys are trying to achieve, and again, like they're going from island to island, actually making shit happen and making a difference, even though they're pirates. It goes against what what you expect, what pirates are supposed to be, and you kind of get to see a different side to, like, the different characters, and you get to see a different side to the whole story as a whole. You get to see more about the world government, the different pirate crews and stuff like that. So I don't think it's what the question that you said, like, it's a lesser version of pre-time skip. I think it actually digs into what the story of One Piece is going to be. It's like the meat of the actual story of One Piece. I enjoy post-time skip a lot more because, again, it's like what I just said at the beginning. Like the first part, like pre-time skip, is a lot of this is what these characters are about. They're trying to make you fall in love with them. They're setting you up of like, okay, this is what these guys' values or whatever they're about. But even after post-time skip, you tend to see more about what their values are about. You see what, for example, okay, Island, how Sanji did the whole like shenanigans, and then later on to find out that he was actually doing it because of Zeph and because of the crew, because he actually cared about the crew and whatnot. So I think post time skip is really cool, man.
Yeah, it's
for me. I say I think I like both because they're, like how RJ has said, they're both different, and they're different for various reasons that I enjoy both. Like pre-time skip, I actually say I feel like it was more tense. if that makes any sense. Like when you get to the character's backstory and then different story beats, elements like Alabasta, and then you learn things about people with backstory with like Nico Robin and Zoro, characters like that. I feel like learning about them creates more of an intense environment because you don't know if their journey is going to continue. Like with Sanji and All Blue, you hear about it, and you also hear about I think Pegleg Zephith, I think. And you hear about like his dreams, and he had to cast his dreams away afterwards, but now he's putting all his eggs in one basket in Sanji. I feel like it created, to me as a watcher, a more tense watching experience because the main goal is get to the Grand Line, and then after we get to the Grand Line, we're going to discover more stuff. But seeing if they could make it to the Grand Line or seeing who's going to all be there, at least to me, because it was always a certain element. Like when Nico Robin said, "I want to be part of the crew," that was something like, at least to me, reading and watching at the time, it was like, can she be trustworthy, or is it just going to be instant? And then going into Enies lobby, going into Water 7, going to all these other characters, especially after Marineford, it created such an intense watching experience for me, with like Luffy learning about like different gears, hockey. Because you look back at Pre-Timeskip, so Luffy was almost outmatched almost every other arc. If I'm being honest, like every other arc, he's basically outmatched. And in Post-Timeskip, it's like they all figured out who they are, or it's figuring out the final touches of who they are and how they affect the world and what differences they make to finally close off in the upcoming final saga of who's gonna be the new king of the pirates.
My boy's
my
boy is a fucking emperor. Let's talk about Monkey D. Luffy, bro. Like, my boy is a fucking emperor. Like,
man,
the emperor of the sea.
Like,
he's the fourth.
Let's talk about it.
I've got a question for you guys, man. I've got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
So, why do you guys feel like, I don't know if it's only me, but my favorite character is Zoro. And I feel like it's the same for a lot of true One Piece fans. And if you get to watch it,
True One Piece.
Had to slip that in real quick.
I just feel like
If you don't like growing up as Zoro, you don't like One Piece.
The reason why I say that is like, why do you think a lot of One Piece fans, not just the true ones, tend to have an affinity towards Zoro as like being one of like the top characters? From you guys.
I think personally, what solidified Zoro as just that character was when he took all of Luffy's pain. I forgot what Thriller Bark. I think after Thriller Bark, that's when I finally feel like people was like, you know what, Zoro's just that top tier of a guy. And then it's always the comparison. You know what? I think if Zoro got replaced by Luffy's villains, that Zoro could he beat Doflamingo, or could he beat this character? It just got so close of like strength level, because you see Zoro. I guess you see Zoro in the story suffer more, I guess, to some people's point of view. Like, Zoro lost his best friend. Zoro got slashed by basically the strongest swordsman, and Zoro wants to be the strongest swordsman. Zoro took all of Luffy's pain that should be impossible, and he wouldn't tell anybody. It's just when it comes to Zoro moments, it's always a life or death moment. But when it comes to Luffy, it can be a life or death moment. But it's like, okay, Luffy's either going to prove somebody's wrong, or Luffy's gonna change the world, and he could fight the final boss. That's usually how it goes. But Zoro, it's like, if he does not win this fight, that's it for him.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Zoro just has the cleanest aura record in One Piece. Like every moment, most of Zoro's moments, he has a lot of aura, but he doesn't have a lot of moments where he loses aura. A lot of the other characters lose aura too often. Sanji loses aura all the time. Luffy has lost aura many times, right? Zoro has rarely ever lost aura. You know what I'm saying? He just consistently gets aura, garners more aura.
To piggyback off that, like, this man loses the fight. This man loses the fight and still has aura. Like, what do you mean? what do you mean? Scars on a back are swordsman's shame. I was like, wrap it up. Like, it's just that dude. Yeah, I think it's a combination of just Zoro's cool as hell. He's also fun to watch with his, like, even the non-action scenes where he sleeps through like weather storms and shit like that. You're like, this guy. He gets lost in the sense of the direction, things like that. He's just fun to watch. And on top of that,
his workout plan.
I think it's because it's called a Dirotagonist. What was it called? Derogatus. Yeah, there we go.
Derogatus.
We're gonna call it a Derogatus from now on. But the Derogatus, out of all his contemporaries, Zoro is like contemporaries of his time and things like that, and before his time, Zoro is not a rival character to the MC. Compared to you look at the other big three, right? Sasuke is the rival character. Uryu is the rival character.
He's the best friend character.
Zoro is, him and Luffy are never competing. Like the fandom would love for them to compete, and they did fight that one time in Whiskey Peak, but they're never competing. And I think that makes him stand out because Zoro has his own story outside of Luffy, and it bonds him more. Like, and not saying that the other Derogatus don't have their own stories outside of the MC, but the MC is heavily related to their story, including like the climax of the story. I mean, we're watching Bleach right now. Ichigo is just like Ishida, like Naruto throughout Naruto, Sasuke. Like, there's never a point where Luffy's like Zoro. Like, nah, Zoro got it. Like, I think that makes him stand out a lot more.
That's really it.
Even someone like a Killua or like a Kuwabara, just to go to like Yu and
Hunter.
Like, even those two are still rivals to an extent. Even though they're more of the friend, at least from the beginning. Obviously, Sasuke, Ishida do have their moments of being friends to the main character, but even though they're more of a friend, they're still rival. Like, that's like, so I think that point definitely stands.
It's to put it in layman's terms, Zoro is the least comparable to Vegeta, and that is why. And that is why.
There we go.
Like, all of them have filled that Vegeta role, and Oda was just like, there's no need. There's no Goku Vegeta dynamic.
What are you doing?
I was like, what the fuck was that?
Is that your applause? I agree.
That was
What's up with you?
My bad.
It's like smacking a horse.
It's crazy. My bad.
Yeah.
I guess real quick, just to before we move on, I know the post-Timeskip and pre-Timeskip thing. I guess real quick, Omar, what's your thoughts on that? Because I feel like when I give my take, I might get jumped, so I'm gonna just.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Come on, step outside. We ain't gonna
take the hits. You take the hits.
I'm right around the corner.
Let me in.
Don't worry, guys. I'll do it for you.
We ain't gonna jump you. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Show the rest of the class.
No, what do you want to know though?
But like, do you think which one? I guess which one do you? Well, we could get into this as well. But like, which one do you think is better? Do you think Post holds up to? Actually, fuck it. Which one is better? Well, we'll get into that. Why not?
Which one is better?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really like choose which one is better because I enjoyed the entirety of it as I started from the episode 1. I mean, I don't know, like.
So you think they hold up, like, relatively?
Oh, they definitely hold up for sure. I definitely didn't think that there was a drop off at all. At any point, I didn't really think that there was much of a drop off if there was one. I just enjoyed it from like just binge watching it the whole time. I'm like, this is a good episode, and just keep watching and watching and watching and watching. I mean, I never like skipped an episode or like none like that. It's never really came to me as like, man, this episode just didn't hit, or like, nah, there was something in every episode that either it hits or it leads up to that point it starts to hit. So I just enjoyed the entire ride. It's not like whether I can choose either a pre or post time skip. It's just
pause.
What?
I was just applying the appropriate context.
Yeah, enjoy.
I've enjoyed the entire ride.
All right.
Nah, y'all crazy.
All right.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess. So for me, yeah, I personally, I think the pre time skip's better. I'll be honest.
Why?
Okay, I'm gonna just say this. I guess in the easiest terms to describe it, I think about my favorite arcs in One Piece, and they're all in the pre time skip. I'm gonna be like, look, Sabaody, Water 7, Ena's Lobby, Marineford, it's all in the pre, right? And I feel like, with that being said, I don't quite. I think the only one so far in the post time skip that I think could crack into like my top 3 arcs would potentially be Egghead when we do come to the conclusion. I do definitely see a lot with that arc. I think it's just an unfortunate case of a lot of these other arcs for me are just a little too dragged, because I think we go peak for peak, there isn't really much that differs from pre-time skip to post-time skip. I can agree with that to an extent, right? When you go to the peak of Dressrosa, peak of Whole Cake, we're not even gonna talk about Fishman because that's just ass. When you talk about Dressrosa, Whole Cake, Wano, Egghead, the peaks rival the peaks of the pre-time skip. And of course there's like Thriller Bark, which isn't that great either, and the pre-time skip, right? There are arcs that aren't as good as well. But hey, I feel like when I think of a complete arc that I was like, dang, like there's I can't find much wrong with that. I'm gonna go to a Saboti, I'm gonna go to a Marineford, I'm gonna go to a Water 7 before I'm gonna go to a Wano, a Dressrosa, a Whole Cake, because I feel like there's just too much there that didn't hit for me. Even when you go to peak for peak, it's similar, but when you go overall arc, like I just don't think it quite can hold up to that.
So, question for you, River: Do you think that can change, because pre-time skip is finished, post-time skip is not? So, do you think that can change? Like, because we got like 10 years left of One Piece. Let's be honest, at least, at least.
No, look, that's possible. That's possible. We can only go from what we have so far. I do think the trend is going to that potentially changing. Okay. Because I do think once we get to the inevitable like final war saga or whatever we go into in that perspective, like that's gonna bang potentially as much as Marineford did. Because when you look at a Marineford, that's like the final arc of the pre-time skip. I think we're probably gearing to something similar for the post. That's just what I'm thinking. I'm not inside over his head, obviously, but like that's what I'm guessing is all roads point to that, right? And like there are multiple other arcs that can happen even before that could as well compete and make it better. It can change now as a complete body of work. It would have to still do some to be able to compete with the pre, which again, it can change like you said. But I just think so far, like by this point, by where we're at in the post time skip right now, compared to where we were at in the pre time skip, I don't know exactly how you would compare it, but like I feel like we would have hit like a at least like a Water 7 or like a Saboti probably by this time, right? And that to me is still like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if that's making sense or not. But
yeah. I hear you.
You're saying in like chapter,
it's a valid point.
It's a valid point.
It's a valid point, but I mean,
kinda.
Are we including
the post time skip is gonna be longer than the pre time skip? But I'm just saying, like, if you,
I'm saying like we can nail it at a thing, because I think that there's been equal amount of time now, right?
I'm not sure.
We're coming.
Are we including?
What's the current chapter? The current chapter is like 1150, right?
1149, I think.
The current episode is 1127. If you want
to. Let me see.
Are we including Reverie as its own arc, or is that part of Wano?
I usually count Reverie as its own mini arc.
Yeah,
Reverie. It's a lot of political stuff that's moving around that affects characters in the world.
Reverie's one of the best arcs though.
580, 590.
Yeah. But you don't even really get the payoff to Reverie till later, though. Is the thing.
Till Egghead.
Like this is equal. Like we're like 30 chapters, I guess. So if you want to count for 30 chapters of Elbath.
Like I hear you, but like you say we haven't gotten like a Sabaody type of event or things like that. Like
no, I'm saying what my point was is like we've like a comparison, like we probably got to around that part. So like in the pre-time skip, obviously
progression in the story.
Progression in the story wise. Okay. I'm talking like we probably would have got to like a Water 7, a Sabaody by now. Like we're not. Like we're getting to those points. Like it's not like there's so much left in the post time skip is what I'm saying. Like we're getting to, so that's why I'm like I feel like we would have hit. I don't know. I feel like maybe that helped a little bit.
Even as someone who kind of shares similarly your opinion, I think that specific point is kind of thrown out when you consider the fact that like pre-time skip is build up. So there's more ground to cover because we're starting from zero. So the pacing is going to seem faster. The seeming progression within the story is going to seem more than the next 600 episodes, because the next 600 is getting deep into the weeds. The next 600 is getting deep into the lore. The next 600 is, okay, now that we've established this world, now let's see how our characters fit into it, and let's see how they change it. And that's going to seem like just inherently a slower burn than exploring the world ever will, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
at least from my perspective. So I kind of, I get what you're saying of like, oh yeah, I kind of would have expected like a little bit more to happen right now. Like, why were we in Dressrosa for 100 chapters? Why were we in Wano for 100 chapters? Why were we? But it's because like these are the places that we heard pre-Timeskip that were storied with a lot happening, with a lot of events happening there. And now that we're there, our characters are now encountering the happenings of the new world.
I guess last clarification, I think, because I get what you're saying there too, but I think more so what I'm saying isn't necessarily even about the events, because I think we've had events that are crazy. I just mean like in terms of a complete arc that I'm like, okay, like this is hidden. There's not a lot wrong with these arcs. Boom, boom, boom. And like RJ's point was like, it's not finished yet, so could it change? So what I'm saying is like some of the arcs that I'm thinking of when I think of that, like at Eden's Lobby or Water 7. Or Saibodi, I feel like in terms of story progression and comparison, like we like, for example, like you could probably like compare a Wano to a Water 7 or something like that, in terms of like how far along we are in the post compared to the pre. That is a very drawn out explanation, but that's what I was saying. If it doesn't make sense now, then we'll just call it a day. But for the audience, I know most of y'all probably get it now.
Yeah. I have a thing. Like, why do we kind of use pre-Timeskip and post-Timeskip Timeskip as a whole as like a mark between Luffy's journey? Like, why is that? Because if you think about it,
because
like,
of Naruto,
Luffy has only been, I mean, I understand, but like I feel like Luffy has only been in his journey for like what, 2 years?
Yeah.
And if you look at 2 years is very, like, it's only 2 years. Like Roger was in his journey for how long? I was like, what?
That's cold.
If someone
That's cold.
On that. So
I'm sorry. That's cold.
What?
That's cold. That's cold as fuck. What? To act as though that even within the one, because I get what you're saying. Like, okay, in the lore of One Piece, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years is a short amount of time. Nigga, first off, we dealing with anime time. Okay,
what?
This is
no, but you get what I know, but do you get what I mean though? Like 2 years.
I don't, because
for you to say that like year one in his okay, I get it. I get it. Like, yes, we're talking about anime time, but if you're looking at Luffy's like journey as a whole, I don't think it's gonna finish in the space of 2 years.
So you don't think that Marineford and the happenings of the time skip within the One Piece world are a natural, I won't even say breaking point, but like a natural, and not even halfway point, because it's not gonna be a natural shift in either storytelling or the 100%. Journey. Okay, so that's why it's used as a.
I 100%. I get it.
Well, no, I see what he's saying. I'll let him clarify if he.
He's just recently defeated Kaido and I guess Big Mama, and he's yet to we don't know what Shanks is planning, and he's the new up and coming one. We don't even know what the government really wants to do with him yet. So there's that whole part to see, And again, it's 2 years into the story.
Yeah, I feel like he's saying there's so much more that could still happen.
Maturing that he has to do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't it be?
That's why,
wouldn't it be 3 years into the story? Because isn't the time skip itself 2 years?
I think. Yeah, I think it's 3. Yeah, but still, I mean, three isn't bad. Yeah.
Because it's like what? Like, is it 1 year or 2 years of training or something?
2. It was 2.
It was 2
years.
It was 2 years.
Or
so I don't know how long. I don't know how long Post-Timeskip. But
no, but I would say, didn't they say in the Grand Line that it was only a span of like 3 to 4 months though? Like everything from the beginning, from East Blue all the way to the Grand Line.
Like
it was only 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's still like 2 years and a half, 3 max.
Anime time.
Anime.
Like all the East,
the fucking
East Blue to Grand Line was like 3
1 day.
Wait, how long did it take Roger to become like Pirate King?
Oh, let me look that up.
That's a good
no
question.
idea. But I think
So you're gonna tell me Luffy's gonna do that in like 3 years?
I think.
Well, I think here's the thing though. Here's the thing. RJ, you can go.
Plot
I was
holes.
like, I think we split it up because of Naruto. Because Naruto split it up with Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, right? We look at them as.
I think that's cold.
We do.
Okay.
Every time as a time skip now, everyone's just like, oh, they look at it like it's a different show because that's what Naruto did.
But the tone does shift a lot.
I think the show makes it a different. Like the series makes it a different.
I think the focus is different, and I will agree that there are some differences, but. It's still One Piece. There's no One Piece Shippuden, but people treat it as if it's like a One Piece Shippuden.
But even Naruto Shippuden is the same shit as Naruto. It's basically the same.
In the manga,
I disagree with that. I disagree. I do think that
in the manga,
of all the anime that I've seen with time skips and whatnot, I do believe that Naruto has the most defined pre and post time skip.
Yeah, in the manga because they did a whole new anime. Not that the animation style changed. I mean, eventually it did, but they changed the soundtrack. Naruto Shippuden and Naruto don't have the same soundtrack. They changed.
I guess Dragon Ball. My bad.
Dragon Ball as well. I going all the way back to Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball is just one big manga, but Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z,
Super.
We look at them as Super is different. But Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, we look at them as different. So it's just like, again, change the whole soundtrack. And Dragon Ball Z, they had to change the voice actors because everyone grew up. Besides Goku, of course, they didn't change that one. But things like that. So I think that's why people look at it as different shows because time skips. I'm not going to say historically in anime because I only listed like 2 shows that did it. But time skip in anime that's familiar. They are famous for time skips, have made it a completely different show. And One Piece is just One Piece.
I know Azza had your point on Roger. I think he found
it wasn't like a established time, but basically he became king of the pirates at age 52. And then at age 53, that's when he died. He turned himself in literally 6 months before he died. So like
Go on. Sorry, finish.
It took him. I think they said it took him 24 years to become king of the pirates.
Okay.
Like,
at what age did they say a lot?
Huh?
At what age did they go on his journey?
It's right here. Somebody made like a Reddit timeline, but the age when he started his journey was. It was in his 20s.
You gotta remember, Roger sailed the Grand Line twice. Because he sailed it originally, and then when he found out about the poneglyphs and stuff, then he went back to go get the other poneglyphs, and that's when he went on the journey that Luffy and them are following, and that's when he became king of the pirates, and then he turned himself in. So he sailed the Grand Line.
So when did he find the poneglyphs?
So he was already a famous pirate before while he was doing his initial second journey to the Grand Line.
Yep. In his 20s, that's when he met Rayleigh. And then at 38, that's when they reached the end of the Grand Line. And then they had went back at 39.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
So he's king of the pirates probably only for like a year max.
I mean, you see how quick though. For example, once he was like towards the final stretch for example, like pretty much we see it as a comparison to Luffy's story now where he's at. Basically, at that time, it took him about. From where Luffy was kind of at, when we seen in Wano, actually Roger's like flashback, that's kind of where we're compared to, right? And like he went for about another year until he basically became king of the pirates at that point. So I feel like even comparing that, like we are towards the final stretch, like you kind of see that happening, but also it's a very different type of era thing because obviously Luffy is like the whatever, however it ends up being in terms of he's like Joy Boy, whatever it is, right? Reincarnation, whatever the fuck it is, right? Something to do with Joy Boy. That is happening. This is the change of the world that is happening, is going to occur. And it seems like that we're just getting that. It's going to probably happen very rapidly as we kind of progress in the story. It already is happening very rapidly. So I think it's just going to be something that is very much a thing that just all kind of occurs very quickly. Yeah.
No, I get you. I hear it.
Type shit. Now, boy, what's funny over there, man?
I'm saying because like they just like you're wrong, but I guess like it's just hilarious. He's like, you win. I don't know. That's just funny to me. But kind of getting away from that, right? You know, we can have our opinions and potential disagreements on River's End of pre and post time skip, right? But let's get to the question that we're all really here for. Is watching this bullshit worth it?
Someone kick him out.
Settle down.
You niggas have spent hundreds of hours of your God-given life watching animated pirates.
You know what? Let's settle down now, boy.
Sail in 2D. Like,
someone get the belt.
I'll have you know right now, I did not regret a single second watching this damn show.
Like, I'm finna calculate how many hours River has dedicated of his young life.
All I'm saying
to watching animated
it's actually
cartoons.
less because I watched One Piece.
It's these goddamn Chainsaw Man fans. You can watch a man go through the worst things possible to touch some titties, but we watch some goofy ass pirates, and suddenly that's too much for you.
Yeah.
If y'all can sit through chapter 1 and the dude said, yeah, you know what? I sold my testicle and my left eye.
Your favorite character is definitely Sanji, buddy. Okay.
What? That's in the story.
No, I'm talking about Cardiac, not you. Cardiac.
What?
But all right.
Just look.
What's wrong with Sanji?
Hold on. Cardiac, is that a Naruto poster behind you? Is that a Naruto?
He said what?
You're not gonna get this
We
up.
got another Naruto poster behind. They sneak it in. Like,
You're not gonna get this up. You're not gonna get this up.
what was the question?
Yeah, man. You know, there's been peoples in the past. Peoples in the past who've made the statement that I was trying to do the math. I can't do math. Times
who we would speak of.
30. Oh no, it would be half times 60. So 574 times 60. Wait, no, that's still in minutes. Fuck it. However many hundreds of hours.
Just before Cardiac says this, but do you remember what I said at the beginning about the one hate that One Piece fans get is this? You see, and it brings it up. So
I don't have
you're proving my point. You're proving my point.
I don't have this opinion. Look.
People have this opinion. Goes on Twitter. It's all Cardiac. So
look, I'm just hey man. I'm just saying if I'm gonna give 574 hours to something, it's gonna be sex over One Piece. Anyway,
whoa.
River.
This is a PG-13.
River. Was it River? Was it worth it?
Was it worth
it?
Look into the camera. Let us see your
we need to decide if you're serious or not with your answer.
And before you answer, just know Omar knows where you live.
Yes.
Get the shotgun.
We just demoed a Life 360. I know where you live too.
Oh man! All right. Oh my.
He tried it.
You're blinking.
You're not.
I feel like it's gonna be a cop out answer because I think overall I would say yes, it was worth it, but at the same time, like I don't think I needed to spend as much time as I did consistently watching it. I think I could have taken more. Now, again, I kind of had to for like work related things. But if I didn't have to, I think the ideal thing I would have watched it would have taken like longer a little bit and also watched other anime as I'm watching it. Because I think I missed out on seeing a lot of different things that I could have been watching as well during that time, which I'm not saying is like the be all end all. But at the end of the day, there are other things I could have watched and stuff like that as well. Now, do I think catching up to One Piece on the surface is worth it? I would say yes. Like as a direct answer, I would say yes, but I wouldn't say entirely yes. Like it's not like a complete yes. Watch it through like from episode 1 to episode 1127 right now. Sit there, watch it through. That I wouldn't say yes to that, but I would say overall yes, it was worth.
So that leads me to my next question. As someone who's watched One Piece at kind of its peak of height of fandom, right? And it's still growing, of course, but kind of at the highest the One Piece fandom has ever gotten, right? And you've now caught up to One Piece. Is One Piece, from your opinion, the masterpiece that it is hailed up to be?
Okay, we getting into the serious question now.
Now that you've caught up. You've caught up. You've been told for years it's one of the greatest stories ever told. What do you think about that?
Okay, what is your when you say masterpiece, when you say those things, like what type of, like, give me like a range.
Okay, so I know
You're thinking too much into it.
I know it's not gonna.
We know his answer. He knows.
Honestly,
I know it's not gonna be your new favorite anime, right? I know it's not your new favorite anime, so I'm not. That's not what I'm asking.
Top 20.
I'm asking, do you think now that you have caught up to the anime, you are very close to you're not very close to the manga, but close enough.
Yeah.
Do you think it deserves the hype? That's what I'm asking.
I think it.
Do you think it deserves the hype? Do you see why?
So what
people,
do you mean by?
Oh my god! Do you see why people think it's a masterpiece, or do you not? Or do you don't?
Yeah, I see it. I see why people think that. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's one of those things, right? Where for me personally, I think it deserves the hype, but I also think it's overhyped. Okay. Now again, I may get cooked.
Nah,
okay?
Go for it.
But I'm gonna try to cook, right? I think the story itself of One Piece is a great story on its own. It has a great, way it's gone about things. I think it has a lot of great moments. I think even, to be honest, by the time One Piece concludes, we could be having a different conversation, because by that point, I may see the ending and be like, this shit is a masterpiece. I cannot deny it. It is, like, it just is at that point. But I think where I'm currently at with the show at the moment, I don't think I'm quite there yet. I think in terms of, I think it does have some overhypedness to it. Like, I don't think I'm sitting there and consistently being like, this is peak, as much as I feel like that I would for certain other shows that I've been like, okay, like this is peak, right? I feel like, again, for me, I'll just say kind of where it is right now. I think I have it at about like 11 on my like top anime. It's like number 11, right? Which is, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like that's very good, right? Yeah. But it's not like, I don't think it quite is like in my
fuck your list. Fuck your list. Fuck that shit.
His number 11.
He's like 11.
11.
Not even top 10.
Burn this.
Carry on.
But yeah, again, it's a great story, I think. And again, I wouldn't give it like a 10 out of 10. But it's like a 9 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill me. But yeah,
say your favorite arc right now.
No, expand. I want to hear what is getting, like, why are you thinking like this?
I think the biggest thing, and this is the probably the most common criticism that people who have seen the majority of One Piece will give it. So maybe I'm not really saying anything new, but I think it is just too drawn out for the most part. Too much of it's drawn out. I can't sit here and say when I'm seeing these other anime that are just better when it comes to the consistency that they bring to the table. Where I know I can sit down and watch certain anime and it's going to be consistent throughout the whole thing for the most part. I don't think One Piece has that. It has a lot of dips, but granted, it's peaks. If you go peak for peak with One Piece, you can pretty much go peak for peak with any other series. I'm not going to deny it. But you know what I'm saying? I think the low points are kind of what holds it down. And that's I do put a lot of stock into how a series can conclude and the final arcs that it can have, which is why I still think that if even with my criticisms of it now, it could end a certain way, it could come together, the lore could all add up to a certain way, and it could still be like it could still be a masterpiece. It could still, go higher on my list at that point because of that stock that I put into those things that are yet to happen.
When you say it's too drawn out, like, what do you mean exactly by that?
Certain arcs just have too much, I think, fluff to them, or there's too much bullshit that kind of happens in between, certain moments. Like if you look at Wano, because that's more fresh in my mind, like again, like there's stretches of episodes where fucking like the zombie shit that Chopper was trying to cure the zombie that lasted for like 15, 20 episodes. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Certain parts like that, it's just like again, certain things. It's just like I'm sitting there and it's like it's a little too drawn out. They have too many like side plots, like B plots to the A plot, which the A plot amazing, fantastic most of the time. But when you go to these side plots, they just aren't hidden a lot of the time.
So
that's where that
so let's say we were to remove all of the B-sided plots to the A plot. Do you think that would make One Piece a lot better?
Now, I wouldn't say a lot better. I would say I probably couldn't deny that it is better, right? But I think that, again, some part of what makes One Piece good is the fact that it expands on a lot of different things. So even though some of these plots could be removed, I think if you removed all of them, you are going to be removing some things that are important to the story. Even the shit I'm saying with Chopper, that is developing Chopper's character. That I care, not really, but maybe later they're going to expand on that. Because that's the thing with One Piece. They be expanding on shit you don't think matters eventually, right? So even though it seems like bullshit, they may still expand on it. But I mean, if it's drawn out, if I'm sitting there like, dang, this shit kind of sucks. I can't deny that either. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And I mean, I feel you. Like, it's a solid point. You know, you're entitled to it. You know, but,
what did I tell you? He is basically saying, "I hear you, but fuck that shit. You're wrong." Like that's what he's saying.
Yo, what's good?
I'm gonna say, yeah. I was trying to pin a message, but the messages haven't updated since he came in chat. Yeah. So I'm literally typing it out. But Die Dirty said, what's it called? Oda is too goated with the pen. You got to be well versed in mythologies to really appreciate. Yes, I typed this out because I do fuck with. Well, first off, shout out to you for coming to the stream. Second, how do y'all feel as you're getting closer and closer to the end of One Piece? Incorporating these different islands, these different cultures, these different whatever it is, somehow always able to reinvent a new locale in the series to potentially expand the world, to go fuck around in like these different peoples with the samurai and Wano and whatnot. How does that add to the later enjoyment of making One Piece refreshing?
So, I think I understand the question.
Bro, they all want to cook me, bro. I know, bro.
I'm trying to take the heat off a little bit.
I'm gonna let River's opinion. Let him on his opinion. His opinion. It's all right.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, it is mine. He's like, I'm gonna see my dream.
It's all right.
Just know, I'm gonna see my dream.
Just know the tweet has already been sent, and you've been added. But no, I'm joking. So what was the question?
One thing about One Piece that is enticing for me to get back into it is the fact that these later arcs and islands have their own subcultures that kind of make shit more refreshing or whatnot. How does that add to the experience for you of watching One Piece?
It is the experience.
Or reading One Piece.
One Piece is a journey, right? So if you're gonna take me on this long adventure, you damn well be sure to make every single island we reach interesting, right? Because that's what you promised me since day one. The Grand Line is the greatest adventure you'll ever go on, right? That's what they promised in the story. So it damn well be the greatest adventure we ever go on. Each island, it's a tough task, but in Oda we trust. Each island better be it better hit, whether the arc hits or not. That's criticism of the storytelling we get on the island. He never misses with the world building of the said island that we go on. And I don't know if this man has already had it planned out for years. I mean, if I was Oda, I would have had it already planned out. Or if he's making it up on the fly, Toriyama style. But he don't miss. when it comes to each island, he don't miss. You think that, we're just going to land on this standard island and then, you get something like Egghead, which is this cyber thing, which everyone expected from Vegapunk. Of course, it's going to be technologically advanced. And then we're on Elbath, and I don't want to spoil
spoilers.
I'm not spoiling it, but Elbath is not what you think either. So it's
no, go ahead. We can get a little.
He always finds a way to give. He always finds a way to give you what you expect. but A, not how you expect it, and B, another element of it that you didn't even see coming, right? Like with Wano, you expect samurai, right? What you don't expect is the what you don't expect is the kind of the story of Odin and all how that went down, and the fact of that these guys are fundamentally goofballs. I mean, one of my favorite moments in Wano is when they attack. I think they attacked the wrong island, and they were just like, and it turned out to be the right island. They were like, Kinemon, you planned this. How did you know? And he's just sitting there like, nah, I got the wrong location. You don't expect. You expect like this honorable troop of samurais. What you don't expect is this basic time travel adventure, right? Through the eyes of these samurais, and the culture of this cut off island being so integral to the main story of Roger and all that stuff, right? And he does it every time. With Egghead, like, I don't want to spoil the ending of Egghead, but goddamn, the lore in that.
Hey, already an Egghead.
Already,
hey,
yeah.
The lore, the One Piece lore, man. Hey, man, it's undefeated. I'll be honest, man. It's undefeated.
So it's the entire enjoyment for me.
That's what's up.
I'll be seated. I'll be seated in my seat. You get One Piece lore come on the screen. I'm seated, bro. I'm seated.
Where else would you be seated?
I mean, sometimes I'm laying down in my bed, sleep, like when Black Clover come on the screen.
All right,
Bro.
So Omar, how do you feel about
God damn.
No need, bruh. And you know what? I'm happy because it's been a minute since I talked to my nigga RJ, and I'm so happy that there have been 2 Black Clover strays today, and none of them have come from the state of California.
I've been keeping quiet
for maturity.
Oh
my god,
I've been keeping quiet, but you know.
Wait, are people still watching Black Clover?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god!
How y'all made it past that first arc is beyond me.
I personally like Black Clover. Actually,
there we go.
I like Black Clover.
Yeah,
I feel like elves when it goes.
I like clovers that are black. How about that?
How'd that make any sense?
The elves are one of the best reviews in the entire story of Black Clover.
Don't think about it.
Goddamn elf arc. This goddamn elf.
Did
you reach the elf arc?
Nigga.
No.
The elf arc is good.
I didn't.
It's good.
I read 100 chapters of that
bro.
bitch. I didn't enjoy it. But that's not the elf arc. All right.
That's when I stopped watching it.
We're just evolved One Piece fans.
Hey.
You can go ahead and log
Black
off.
Clover not at that level, man.
Well, while this wardrobe change is happening, Omar, I have a question for you, man.
What's up?
So, I was looking on Twitter, right? And how active are you on Twitter these days?
I don't have a Twitter.
Yeah, that's why I figured because I know when I saw this, I was just thinking of you, man. Like no homo, but I was like, man, Omar, my boy, he would just be so disappointed in this bullshit that's now on the screen, and it's like, man, what are we even doing? Or even this one specifically, this shit is so over animated. Now
react.
we don't want to show the craziest amount. It might get cut in post, but I mean, when you look at this as someone who's been waiting for this level of animation since you was a jit little Todd, right? What is it? How does it feel like for people to say that they doing too much?
I see that on Toonami. I'm turning it on.
DTM, they doing.
I think they just need to shut their asses up. To be honest,
talk to them.
I don't see any problem with it at all.
Yeah, it ain't that bad.
I don't see any problem with it at all.
My Kai.
But what about the people who are like, oh, they have a point though? There's just too much going on for me to really keep track. Would you But mind you, these are the same people who watch TikToks with half the screen as a GTA race. I'm just including that extra context. Continue. What was thoughts?
So I think they just have a problem with their brain.
Nice.
Is that an official diagnosis?
That's an official diagnosis.
Official diagnosis.
Especially from the TikTards that are saying this. I mean, let's be honest. If you watching shit on split screens, I can't do that. That shit actually pisses me off. But watching a show and it pops up with this peak right here, it's like I can take it in as in like they animated it this way because that's his power up. That's like it's that cartoonish thing. They gotta make it look a little cartoonish. You can't just be like, oh, he's just goofy, and then like none of that extra kabam or kabloo or the stars and the rainbows and stripes, everything is popping off like earlier in that clip just now. I was like, yeah, this is nice. That's nice. Like you haven't seen that at all, to be honest, with One Piece, especially with all the color.
Yeah, it's definitely getting a level of dedication to the production that's a lot of people would argue is like, what's it called? Very new and very needed for the series. But I mean, everybody else, are we on the same similar wavelength of this, or is there some credence to the some would wrongfully call it the Sakuga Fest that potentially builds out what Toei's current animation.
Much like the over animated coming from Shonen fans, I believe it's for having way too much going on visually, making it hard to keep track of what's actually happening in the fight.
I feel like they just got low attention.
Yeah, but to say, you want to talk about way too much going on visually to make it hard to keep track in the fight. The only one that I recently viewed was that Sukuna versus Maharaga fight. I think a lot was going on there. I was like, what is going on?
That is hailed. That is hailed as peak.
And it's not that I didn't enjoy the fight or didn't understand what's happening within the story. It was just like some of the shots, I was just like, it just looked like watercolor on my screen. But as for this one, it's just like, it's not over animated. It's that's such a stupid ass term. It's not over animated. It's
busy.
It's busy in a way. It's visual representation is what they're talking about. They don't like the visual representation of how this fight is happening. And that's fine, to each their own. But to say it's over animated, you did too much. What?
He just wants some chill anime. He just wants some chill, like Blue Lock season 2. He just want a chill anime experience, man.
It goes back to what Omar's saying. You got to look at what's happening in the story. We got a guy who is basically a living cartoon fighting a dude who can move at the speed of light. And y'all like
shout out to Royal.
And y'all like too much is happening at one time. Like no shit. That's the point. And are you supposed to catch it all on your first viewing? No, I don't think you are. But that's the beauty of animation. You can catch a little hints. I mean, I know if you're on Twitter, you see the impact frame people talking about, oh, you saw this in the impact frame. You saw that in little Easter eggs within that. But they're fighting. And if you pay attention.
Shout out to that.
And you pay attention enough, you can see that, on top of that, it's not even fast paced. Now, if they were moving faster, I don't know if you were watching this at 1.5 speeds, then maybe it'd be a little too much for you to take in. But
what's crazy from this,
playing the clip again, it's pretty easy to catch. Yeah. Go ahead.
You talking to them? The others,
ignore him. Go ahead.
That's what you talking about?
Oh no! I said what's crazy about this is, I think it was the director or somebody higher up in the One Piece team for animation. Like the animation team got praised, but the sound design team for this actually, one of the teammates, it was like a higher board director or something. He said the whole crew for the sound design should have got fired for this episode.
He did,
because he said they did a terrible job.
He did. Yeah.
Well, that is this person's tweet talking about it. They said the sheer incompetency from Toei to incorporate a sound design team that can make it watchable for more than 5 seconds without feeling like your ears are getting brutally assaulted is what makes the anime unwatchable, they say.
Listen.
Now I see. Okay, go ahead.
I just because this has been a while.
React.
This has been a debate in the One Piece community for a while. I guess this is a hot take of mine. A lot of people want One Piece to update its sound design, right, from the little goofy bonks and cartoonish things and things like that. I don't. Right. This is the sound design that I fell in love with when I originally started One Piece. Call me biased. I'm fucking biased. I love it. On top of that, Gear 5 literally makes the show even more cartoonish. Like, what are we talking about? He's a
that is true.
He's
literally bouncing.
He's a living cartoon. That's the whole frame. I know that's not actually his actual power, but in layman's terms, that's his fucking power, right? He's a living cartoon. And people are just like,
yeah, he got tuned for
the sound design is too silly. Like, are you not watching a show about a guy made out of, well, technically not made out of rubber, but made out of rubber, bouncing around and literally doing whatever the fuck he wants with the world? Like, this is a goofy pirate manga. Like, stop.
Well, what if the sound designs aren't just goofy? They're over. What's it called?
Overused?
Oversounded.
No, not Jesus. Not oversounded. They're outdated. This person, shout out to Royal in chat again. The problem is they're using sound effects from the 80s and 90s. I love the cartoon sound designs, but the DBZ sound effects have to stop.
One Piece is
we're done with the 90s.
One Piece is a show from the 80s and from the 90s, not 80s, but 90s. So
we're done with pre-timeskip.
But that kind of goes.
I know
to
I am
what we were
alone
saying earlier of talking about it adjusting over either for a different audience or still a different audience just throughout time. Is it not One Piece's job as a product in 2025 to cater to an audience based in 2025?
I am alone in this, but no, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I would also say not necessarily. I mean,
go ahead, River. Go ahead.
Because part of it is obviously the animation is obviously taking a huge upscale.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could. I think personally, I feel like they could find a balance of like keeping some of it, but also adding to it, which I think to some extent they have. Like, it's not all the same shit all the time. I mean, I'm not the nerdiest of studying that shit, so I could just be wrong. But at least to my feeling, it doesn't feel like they're always doing the same shit they have in the past, so they are changing certain things. And I think again, the point of Gear 5 being Gear 5 is a very strong point. Going back to the over animation thing, even I think when I watched it, I was like, okay, there's a lot going on. I don't really understand everything going on. But then I was like, wait a minute. I don't necessarily have to get every single part of this to know it's cool and it's still a good fight and I am enjoying what I'm watching. I may not be getting every impact frame, every different little sequence of what's going on specifically, but I am enjoying what I'm watching. At the end of the day, what are we watching anime for? We're watching it to enjoy it. And if you can enjoy it and not worry about being a stickler for fucking over animation and creating a new word, like a new phrase to describe the shit, what are we doing? Y'all are just, I don't know. There's too much actually behavior going on here, man. Just watch it and we can enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. I understand the point to an extent, but it's not that serious. It's just not.
I mean, I understand Royal's point where he's like, they're like, I want One Piece to be its own thing. I get that. I get that. To be like, oh, I don't want, Garp charging up hockey to sound like Super Saiyan. Like, I get that. I get that from that perspective. And I understand why people do want One Piece to kind of cater to the new audience. I mean, look at the animation. Clearly, they did it with the animation. Now people want them to do it with every other part of the production. I understand why. It's just, I personally don't think the sound design needs changing, from my opinion, but I know I'm alone in this.
Well, last point that I have real quick. What do y'all think of Makai earlier said? Shout out my guy, by the way. It was good. But nah, y'all hate. I guess talking about the other fans, y'all hate the over animation, but wasn't people hyped in Wano when it was worse? Thoughts on that?
Worse.
What was worse?
I guess like the over animation. I don't think Makai is saying it was worse, but like to them, what they're talking about was worse. I guess. The over animation.
I'm confused.
I think you're saying that like the complaint is coming in Egghead or in eventually Elbaf, but what's it called, when the actual problem started before, as well as was potentially more dire before. I don't know if y'all have seen enough of the two enough of the two arcs in anime, because I know y'all are more manga readers to compare and contrast them.
I think we all seen that. Most of us anime watchers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, my bad. But would y'all say that that's the case? That it was worse in Wano, like not the over animation, but like what people are complaining about whether it's cartoonish design, sound effects, etc.
I don't think so. I think if they're complaining about something, I would say it's more about this arc, because Egghead is technically a futuristic type of island, so it has all of those, animation or features which maybe One Piece viewers may not expect, and especially with Gear 5. Other than that, I don't think Wano had that as much as it's showing right now. What do you guys think?
To some extent, I see that point. I think
I see it. Yeah,
has certain things, but not. I think it's a little bit more profound in this specific fight that we're seeing. I think even like Luffy versus Kaido, I don't think things got as insane. However, the biggest thing here is that we have to, going back to RJ's point earlier, it is a literal quote unquote rubber man, because obviously, like, whatever the fuck he actually is, but a rubber man, and then versus a light man fighting. So it's just going to be a little bit more. But in terms of, there were definitely certain moments that people definitely did not complain about. Maybe they did. I wasn't caught up, so I wasn't looking into it as much. But it seemed like people were loving Gear 5. It seemed like people were loving Zoro's moment. It seemed like people were loving, certain, even like 10-15. No one would ever say that's over animated, but I think some of those certain things that we're talking about now still happened then, but that's peak. You know what I'm saying? And no one was denying that. But for some reason now we're trying to have these combos.
I think this is a perfect fight as well. I'm a huge fan of Kizaru. I think he's very hilarious. It's like a very funny character, and this whole toon version of Luffy is supposed to be funny, man. It's like a new version of One Piece / his power up, So having someone like Kizaru fight him in Egghead with all this visual makes it nice, makes it funny, like it makes it entertaining, even for the new gen type of anime viewers, Yeah, I like it personally. So.
Kizaru's like reactions to shit like this.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's good shit.
Absolutely. Well, considering the fact that I'm not. Wait, DJ, you was going to say something? My bad.
I've got a question. What? How the fuck do people that come up with theories of One Piece, how do they do that shit? Like, it makes it sound so succinct though. Like, you could think, because I share a few with River on Instagram, and when you think about it, some of them are out of reach, but at the same time, it could possibly happen. What do you guys think?
Really, really paying attention and overanalyzing. Like, it is people who just like, this isn't a natural thing. Having people like Oda showed a dog in this chapter in one panel, a silhouette of a dog, and the silhouette of a dog has historically meant it to be this, and we can trace it back to all this. And in 1943, this Japanese philosopher, like, it's like things like that. And not gonna lie, sometimes I'd watch some of them too. I'd be like, okay, you making sense. Sometimes they be cooking, and I think it's just the fun of it. I think most theory creators just have fun picking at it, and that's how the story is enjoyable, right? When people can take the details and minor details, whether Oda meant to put in there or not, and craft something new out of it, and either be right or wrong, because there are some theories that have been right? So, like, the biggest theory for a while that a lot of people were just like, nah, that's stupid, was that Luffy was a Zoan, right? A lot of people were just like, Luffy was a Zoan, because they were like, Gear 2 and Gear 4 don't make sense unless he's a Zoan. And a lot of people were like, nah, he's a Paramecia. Turns out he was a Zoan. They were right. right? It was like they're like Luffy's his fruit is not the gum fruit. That was a theory for the longest time, right? I mean, another famous theory is that Crocodile used to be a woman because of his whole thing with the Monkov and things like that. So it's I think it's just the fun of it for the most part.
Omar, as it y'all's opinions or interactions with the theory crafters.
Omar, you want to go first?
No, you can go, man.
I think it's just with anything, like how RJ was saying, if you have a love for it and a passion for it, you can come up with stuff. Some people, they do it out of just the love of the game, because we probably all seen anime or just any form of media that it just keeps us up at night. Like after you watch the episode, or after you research something, it just keeps you up until you want to know the answer. And I think the fun part is just coming up with your own answer, just to like it satisfy you. Like this is big One Piece reviewer, after he reads the manga or watch the anime, he goes over certain chapters. His name is Sawyer7, and then he goes like at the very end his little theories of One Piece. So I think it's just the love of what could happen next to satisfy you.
Guys, how old are the Gorosei? Like, how long have they been around? I feel like they've been around before fucking what's his name, Gold Roger, and even before his time.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
The old men.
Go to say
the four old, the five,
yeah.
4, 5.
Oh, okay, that's
old
what
men.
I was thinking it was. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking it was.
They're old.
Yeah, they've been around for.
They're old.
A brick.
Which actually, I mean, they might reveal just how old they are in today's episode of One Piece if you've watched it.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. If you,
They might.
That didn't
They
come
might,
out
he
yet, though.
says.
That ain't come out yet, right?
It hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Is it Saturday night? I think it's Saturday night. It comes out, right?
Yeah, it's like late Saturday night.
Okay. Well, then,
On any list, it's saying 15 hours. I don't know why it is, but
okay. Well, then
yeah.
I guess tomorrow's episode.
Because that's probably when it premieres on Japanese.
Today's episode for if you're in Japan, but tomorrow's episode for us. So,
I mean, at least it just depends, right? Because if you know what I'm saying, I do wonder. I guess again, this will be a whole nother convo. Probably by the time this pod comes out, this will be complete. Actually, matter of fact, there's no point because y'all are going to know already. So who cares about our theories right now? The day before we find out, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's the will of D. They say.
If they're that old, like, are these guys older than some of the giants? Because I know the giants live to like 500 plus.
That's gonna be
They're old.
I bet you, because obviously like Elbaf is there. I feel like we gonna get some more from that, bro. Because some of the giants is gonna know some shit. Somebody in the giant shit gotta have some passed down. I mean, I'm sure RJ over there in his head, like, yeah, they don't even know. But then, like, yeah, like, so, like, there's gonna be
these niggas clueless.
Yeah, like some giant gonna like know something. I feel like pertaining to that, and obviously we know, like, we have already known that like Emu is one of the original like people like 800 years ago or whatever, based on what they said on the names that were there. And obviously, even if the elders were not there, like they clearly like inherited some type of knowledge, like they've been passed on the will of their predecessors or whoever.
So are the Gorosei like are they people that get passed on? So like there's someone else get elected, or they've always been there?
That's a good question.
RJ just like, just wait.
Y'all gotta finish Egghead, bro. Like y'all gotta finish Egghead. Like
Just text it to me. I'm ready for the
no. Y'all gotta finish Egghead. Oda 2025 is different. That's all I'm gonna say.
He knows too much. He knows too much.
You know what? I'm gonna watch a summary so I can.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Let me finish up Wano real quick.
Nah. That's after everything. Say it. No, that's crazy. What's it called? Look, I gotta get my hater shit off.
What?
I gotta get my hater shit off. So I have to ask. And you all are going to be complicit with me. What's the most overrated arc in this series?
Please, overrated.
Just tell me.
Overrated?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't. Okay.
And it doesn't have to be actually trash. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, all of One Piece is good. That's not what I fucking
I know my
asked.
answer. I know my answer. I don't gotta go first though.
Okay,
I've
asked people have asked me what's the worst arc in this series. No one's ever asked me what's the most
I know. Like if you ask me what's the worst arc, I understand.
Overrated.
Let me look up every One Piece.
I got my answer. Chat, the answer, y'all not gonna want to hear it. People gonna hate me, man. You know what I'm saying? With the most overrated arc, I think Alabasta low-key underrated, but that's a whole nother convo.
Alabasta's not underrated.
Who overrates Alabasta though?
Yeah, I don't think.
Who says? Is people be saying Alabasta?
A lot of people that I know. To be fair, I'm not in the One Piece community at all, but people that I know that like passively have watched it, like it's consistently a top 3 favorite arc.
Yeah, Alabasta.
Yeah, it's overrated. All right, fair enough.
It is the top 3. I think that's
I think okay.
I don't know about
overrated is hard.
Okay, y'all thinking, man? I'm gonna get mine off, man. It's Dressrosa. Let's really talk about it, man.
Oh wait, I got one. Hold up.
I don't know too many people that hold Dressrosa in a high enough regard to say.
You don't think, bro? People be, hey man, people be saying Dressrosa peak, man. I don't know. People be saying that.
Dressrosa actually top 3 arc for me.
TK got it up there too. I know.
I don't think it's bad. I just think it was literally the longest arc in all of One Piece, and that's when people got tired of it.
Yeah,
but that's when the dip started coming.
I'm also the guy that says Dofi's a little overrated too. So
all right,
yeah, get out.
Chill,
but you. Chill. Oh, I fucking forgot about that dumbass opinion you had. River doesn't think that One Piece has a representative as an all-time antagonist.
What?
I'm sorry.
He doesn't think there's a single antagonist in all of One Piece. That is what number did you put on it? Top 10. 5 or 10? 10.
Top 10 out of what? All-time anime?
Yeah.
RJ, now remember, Rivers watched 50 anime.
Oh my god. Nah, not Blackbeard, bro. Blackbeard not like when we finish One Piece, could Blackbeard be there? Yeah, but there's not enough. There's just not enough of Blackbeard yet for me to.
I don't know. Doflamingo's still up there for me.
I almost forgot about that dumbass shit.
What's that dragon guy called?
Kaido?
From Wano. No, not Blackbeard. No, not Kaido.
Are you talking about Kaido?
No. The guy that was acting as a daimon.
Orochi?
He goes up there for me.
Nah.
Surely, bro. That nigga is evil, bro.
Okay, I would.
Nah.
Okay, I would have to see who else is. Give me some people that's on your list. Like what tier of antagonists are we talking about, River? What?
He's talking about Madara, those kind of niggas.
You're gonna. Yeah, I know you're gonna bring up Johan from Monster. I know you're gonna bring up
Johan.
I know you're gonna bring up Johan from Monster.
Askeladd.
Askeladd.
Pain.
You don't think fucking Doflamingo? You crazy?
Yeah.
Bro, you're on crack, bro.
Chill. Huh? Askeladd is, bro. We're not gonna do this.
I don't know. I feel like
Aizen. Pain. I said Pain.
Aizen.
Well, okay. No, wait. Hold on. Before you say all of these characters, how do you define top antagonists for you?
Top antagonists for me?
Yeah.
I feel like what they really like, what they bring to the story, I guess. Like again, this isn't necessarily going against Dofi wholeheartedly. That'd be another combo for if like why I would say he's like overrated, I guess. But like when they're like they bring something to the screen where it's like, okay, like they're feeling while they're like on your screen is like, dang, like they just enter the room. It's the whole thing. Like I feel like Johan is the greatest example. When he's on screen, you know some shit's happening, you know some shit's going down. I think as well, like you go back to the thematic points, I think some antagonists they're what you call it? There's a word that I'm missing on this, but their dichotomy or whatever the fuck, some shit. There's some word out there, right? With the protagonists, like how they go at the protagonist and stuff like that, like their differing views as well as their similarities. Maybe just like I don't know. It's one of them words, man. Maybe someone in the chat.
It sounds very mixed from what you're saying, because a lot of people will say Dolphy because of the evil that he has. This man killed his brother.
Yeah.
Bro, if you don't get meaner than that for me, then I don't know.
I just don't think he quite moved me as some of the other antagonists did. Now, Bro, I'm not saying Dolphy's bad.
He killed his own brother and he brainwashed the whole island to like believe that people didn't exist no more, like the close ones didn't exist. While the toys that worked with them were the close ones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not saying those points aren't valid, but I think it's just in terms of like he doesn't quite have that level of, okay, like some shit's going down, some shit's happening, and it's like, okay, he pulls all that in, and then also him going against Luffy, I don't think was like as strong of a like dynamic between the two.
The kind of antagonist that you're describing, I think like of a Frieza, for example.
A Frieza? I think one time someone gonna pull up a clip or some shit of me saying that I think Frieza better. I think I've changed my opinion now. I do
even Frieza.
I do think I might have Dolphy and Frieza around the same level, potentially.
For me,
but the person that you're sorry.
No, go ahead.
Wait, I do gotta hit up now.
All right. W shit from Azza, bro. Appreciate you sliding.
Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
All right, bro.
Oh, you good? You good?
For me, it's a lot of what makes a good antagonist is kind of the fear they strike into the audience itself, into the story, and into the audience, I would say. And for me, I think Blackbeard is the best antagonist in One Piece, is because Blackbeard scares me, because Blackbeard, unlike every other antagonist, with Dolphy, you're just like, he's strong. You can see how he's strong, right? And if you beat him, you win. But Blackbeard, they literally are kicking him around the battlefield. Like Ace was winning that fight, right? He was kicking his ass. Blackbeard literally, his power makes him feel more pain than everyone else. It's very easy to punch Blackbeard. It's very easy to beat him up, and yet he still wins every single time because of his intellect.
Right.
And it's just like, that's kind of the scary part about it, that even if you are a million times stronger than him, like a Whitebeard was, because he outsmarted you, like, it's like your strength doesn't matter. And I think that's what makes Blackbeard so prevalent in the minds of the fans, because he's taken no L's. He's taken no L's, and in a large scheme, he's taken no L's, and he's moving very like his strategy and how he moves around the One Piece world is very just like, what is Blackbeard doing? On top of that, what he knows, the weird things about him, like, you know, when Bucky was like, that man did not sleep for that 3-day fight, like Shanks of all people being like, guys, Blackbeard is a problem, like all of that. Like,
would you say Blackbeard is the antagonist to Luffy, or Akainu is?
Blackbeard.
I would say Blackbeard more, because Blackbeard represents what we imagine, what non-One Piece fans imagine a pirate is.
I think it's both.
And I don't think Akainu is. Maybe
Akainu, they're both antithesis to Luffy, because Akainu is the embodiment of order, while Blackbeard is the embodiment of chaos. Both are an antithesis to Luffy, who is the embodiment of freedom, because both of those trample on it equally. Order confines it, while chaos opens it up to the point to where the concept can't even exist anymore because it tramples upon itself. Like I think that they both equally are an antithesis to the ideas of Luffy. But what I would say to River, what's it called? My bad, I had to be off screen for a minute. But what I would say is that, from what it sounds like, is that it's hard for you to recognize the antithesis to a relatively simple mentality that like a protagonist has, for example. So like Luffy doesn't have like these specific ideals or passions, right? Like he's more concept driven in terms of what he's fighting for and what his character represents. And so because of that, the the antithesis that his antagonists also have aren't going to be these like 1-to-1 examples of them basically rejecting Luffy at every turn. It's going to be more so that the concept of their being is, flip-flop to Luffy.
Yeah, I feel that. I think honestly, it's a case of like, I think Blackbeard could be up there by the end of the story. It's literally just a case of there's so much we don't know yet about Blackbeard and what type of antagonist he is. I just can't give that like nod to him to be up there yet, because I think that he would probably be like my favorite antithesis to Luffy, because I think that going back to when they sat down in Jaya and Blackbeard gave the speech and seeing how that, kind of differs from Luffy's perspective, but also is similar. I think it was very beautiful in a way. And I think that when they end up colliding inevitably, that is going to be, as they continue down their paths that will lead to that, I think is going to probably be what will make him the best antagonist and possibly an all-time antagonist. And yeah, Royal also just said the Dofi fight was more against Law than Luffy, which I think is fair, as well. That being said, so I think maybe another case of potentially Dofi being kind of spread, and like again, it's more of a case that he is just evil, very very much an evil character where you do find his background and it kind of makes sense. But again, a lot of it is just evil for the sake of it to an extent, which isn't a bad thing. But I usually more to an antagonist is kind of where I'm at with that thing. But again, Blackbeard could be that in the end. I think that's a fair statement if you want to say Blackbeard will inevitably be there. That's fair. Type shit.
Yeah, stupid take.
What's 10 you got over Dofi and Kaido? I'd have to really lock into 10, bruh. But
it'll be all 10 of the other antagonists that he knows of.
Chill.
Mm-hmm.
All for one?
All for one is crazy.
This man's about to be like, number 1, Muzan. Number 2.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I thought I went low. That nigga went lower. That nigga went lower. Oh, my God. But yeah, man. Did anybody come up with overrated arcs, or we just
oh yeah, overrated arcs. Yeah, let's finish that, and then
is everything a 10? Every all opinions are good opinions. The community's right all the time. Come on, bruh. Come on. Let's hate.
Overrated.
You're not even hating One Piece. You're really hating the consensus.
My least favorite arc is between Dressrosa or Whole Cake.
Your least favorite?
Yeah.
Both Post-Timeskip, by the way.
Out of the whole series.
Both Post-Timeskip, but it don't fall off.
Pre-Timeskip.
Okay.
No, you said your answer. It's cool, DJ.
I've got recency. What you
call
recency? Yeah.
So
you know when I started watching One Piece, what was the latest episode? I think it was Skypiea.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. That's how long ago I was like watching One Piece.
Damn. I did. Okay. Overrated is such a fucking hard question.
Yeah, RJ saying this shit.
Maybe Saba Odi.
Oh, what episode was that? Like that?
Saba.
Maybe Saba.
I'm surprised niggas didn't say Arlong.
Maybe Saba. No.
Arlong
is perfectly rated. Arlong is perfectly rated.
I must say I believe that, but I'm surprised that we all agree on Arlong.
I think
is Arlong underrated?
No.
Probably.
Okay, but look, but hear me out. Hear me out.
So.
Because something that people love to say, they be like, you gotta get farther in One Piece. You gotta get to wherever, Ines Lobby. You gotta get to Water 7. You gotta get to whatever the fuck. And motherfuckers act like people don't. I got hooked at Arlong. But we missing that. If anything, I got hooked at Baratie because Baratie. I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like maybe Saba Odi for overrated. Overrated is just a hard question. Now underrated.
Saba Odi overrated.
Now underrated. Let me tell you about my arc.
Let's do Cardiac. Let's do the short, man. Let's do the short. Lock in. Okay, let's do it.
Oh, my bad. So what's your most underrated arc in One Piece?
Underrated arc, Long Ring Island, bro. The Foxy arc. Absolute.
I did forget that.
Yeah.
That is your
shit
opinion.
ass.
No. Hear me out. Let me cook real quick. So one of the main things people complain about post-Timeskip is that there are not enough Straw Hat interactions. People just love seeing the Straw Hats interact with each other. If there was one arc that has the most Straw Hat interactions with each other, with them just being the goofball team they are, it's Long Ring. When they compete in those games is downright hilarious, right? Peak One Piece comedy, that entire arc. Absolutely loved it.
It is fun.
It's a fun arc. People are just gonna sit there and be like, well, there's no big fight, there's no big thing, there's no big, yeah, and I love those moments too. But sometimes you just gotta chill back with the Straw Hats with your crew, right? That's the arc to go do it. That's the arc that does it. Loved it.
No, I don't see the vision. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see
Shout
the
out,
vision.
shout out to Foxy, second strongest character after Buggy. But
No, the only saving grace of that arc is when Koji shows up.
Aokiji at
Or
the end.
Aokiji.
You're the problem. You're the problem. Of course, when the powerhouse shows up, that's when you're the problem.
Frozen.
Oh shit!
That's one for that arc. I hadn't like started watching One Piece. I didn't really know about it. I had to read the manga. I could not watch it. I was so bored. I had to get through it as fast as I could.
Hate to see it.
I had to read the manga. Thriller Bark and Long Ring Longland are some of the only parts I read. I read the manga because I just couldn't do it. I had to just read it.
Long Ring was hilarious. When Luffy came out in that afro, I was dying.
That was funny.
I was dying.
But again, there's not like we talk about, like, I don't know, bro.
With Usopp as his coach, like,
yeah,
peak.
For me, most underrated arc, I would have to go to. I think, honestly, this is a fair answer. Potentially, maybe not, but I think I'm gonna go Water 7. I know people are gonna be like, how is that underrated? But I think most people will say, like, for example, like Ina's Lobby is like the better part of that thing, which I think Water 7 is better than Ina's Lobby. I think Water 7's moments are some of the best in the series, if not the best. Debatably, like, I think its plot, it has one of the best plots, like, legitimately, like, the mystery of what the fuck is going on, the reveal of the CP9 agents and shit, like, all that shit going on. I love that shit. That shit was fire to me. And then also, obviously, you got the Usopp Luffy shit. You got when the Straw Hats pull up on Frankie. You got the Mary ongoing plot as well. Water 7 was peak. I mean, obviously there were some payoffs in Ina's Lobby, but I think for me, I'd go Water 7, just because I think people do hold it highly, but I think it's even higher than what people be giving it. I think Royal also said Baratier, which is a solid shot. People be hating on that one too, but yeah.
DJ Omar.
For underrated, for me, I'd have to say Thriller Bark. I know a lot of people throw hate on it, but I think it's very underrated. And the reason why I say so is because of, Brook's tragic, like, backstory. You find out about Brook's past, in which we truly don't fully know till today. Like, we don't really know where this guy's from, but it's kind of a sad ending to a new beginning. And then, with the whole Laboon connection, like, with him having to kind of go back and find his friend, his lost will friend. And as well as, we get to see the whole scene of Zoro, like, nothing happened scene. I think that's very peak, like you guys like to say, shows loyalty and his sacrifice that he's willing to have for the crew. And then we also get to see Kuma, which I think was very cool to see. And yeah, a lot of people shit on it. But,
do you notice how you didn't name anything that really actually happened like on the island and shit before Kuma showed up? Like that large section of the zombie shit. You ain't mentioned nothing from that section.
Okay. What about the fight between Zoro and what's his name? The whole
Ryuma.
what's that guy called?
Ryuma.
Ryuma. I think that was quite cool. That's kind of foreshadowing to Wano.
It's true.
Zoro's past a bit. So
though.
people sleep on it, but a lot of things happen in the arc that kind of a testament to the One Piece
Things.
Hey, we got the
Well,
iconic
seems-
meme. We
like
got the
things.
iconic meme of Luffy pushing the zombie back into its grave, and it's like that's where you belong. Where would we be without that today?
I guess.
a
There's
foundation
some
of it.
points. I still didn't like it, but I again the points you mentioned are fair. Those were good moments. But nah. Omar, what's your most underrated arc? You gotta give one.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I can't
It's
think of
all
one, to
great.
be honest.
Everyone thinks it's great, and it is all great.
Oh my god.
Stop. Stop, bro. There's something. Actually, it might not even make the short because I don't know. I'm not super caught up. But my most underrated would probably have to be Impel Down. I think that Impel Down is probably an arc that at the time of its airing probably got a lot more praise than it has in recent years. Now, granted, it's because more One Pieces happen, but I think that just the sheer race that Impel Down provides for that section of the story is some of the most like high intensity like prison, not only just prison escape, but like race against time to try and still services as set up for Marineford, but is also like within itself like, okay, this is not even the calm before the storm. This is like right out, this is on the dirty side of the storm. And like Marineford is like just its own hurricane built on top of it. But for Impel Down to have as high stakes as it is, as energetic as it is, as memorative as it is in terms of character reintroductions, unlikely team ups, and basically also being set up, I think should be remembered and heralded as great as it is. Isn't heralded nearly enough, to be honest.
The goat Bon Clay.
Yeah.
Type shit.
So that would be mine. Honestly, it would be Water 7, but River took it. So yeah.
Oh.
Impel
No,
Down.
I got
Luffy.
one now.
Type shit.
For underrated, I have to go with Whole Cake Island.
Okay.
Why?
People do be hyping Whole Cake though, but maybe.
Sorry.
So that's the fight with Luffy and Katakura.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was also when Jinbei announced that he was joining Straw Hats.
Yeah.
And Sanji's whole ordeal, which it was an emotional thing, especially when Sanji was crying in the rain with the cigarette. That's another meme. That's another meme right there.
True.
Sanji's in the rain. He's like, man, I finally found a bitch I love. She a backstabbing hoe. He don't like me at all. Yeah, the political marriage thing and they get another polyglyph. Pedro.
Shout out Pedro.
Pedro's a good part of that arc.
R.I.P. Pedro.
R.I.P. But yeah, I don't hear many people talk about Whole Cake Island when it comes to like story arcs like that. Like everyone always says, like their favorites like Water 7 and then Wano, Marineford, and all that. And like I understand that people don't like Whole Cake Island for some parts. I don't even like Big Mom, to be honest.
Yeah, Big Mom sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't like her. Like out of the 4 emperors, the old 4, she was in the bottom tier for me. I didn't like her. She was whatever. When Jinbei showed up and like basically said that she was a bitch respectfully. Like he put that shit respectfully. Like here's a sake cup back. I'm leaving. Like damn, I couldn't even take any of this guy's life at all. Dude really just said fuck you.
-1 million aura.
What?
Honestly,
what
she
was
lost
the line?
hella aura for that.
He was like, there's no way I can sail with the king of the pirates when I'm scared of a mere emperor.
Yeah, there you go.
Cold.
Turned his whole back, walked away.
Bro sat down too when he said, "Nah, we done. We done.
We
His
done
mom's
with the
looking at
90s. We done."
His mom's looking at him like, "Wow, this is crazy."
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
is that a hot take? Do people think Big Mom sucks?
No,
that's not a hot take.
I mean, yes,
it's a very cold take. I liked Big Mom. She was my number 2 emperor, actually. But
wait, guys, how does this explain to me how this works? How is Zeus still alive if technically Big Mom is dead?
I mean, is she? I guess we don't know.
So it's like the effects of the devil fruit powers don't wear off after you die. But one, we don't know if she's dead.
Some of them do though. Or does it just depend on which one?
No, because like, so for example, if Law cuts somebody in half and then Law dies and doesn't put them back together.
But like, but what about the thing when like certain effects, if people go unconscious, then like certain effects like go away if they go unconscious. You know what I'm talking about?
It depends on what the effects are. Like if the effects are on other people, because the homies are created by Big Mom putting souls into other objects. Those souls are just not going to go back after Big Mom goes away. They're going to stay in the objects. That's how Zeus is still.
Okay.
So it's like I said, like if Law cuts you,
souls never make it to
yeah. If Law cuts you in half and then doesn't put you back together and dies, then that's GG's until the next person that would have that fruit comes along and puts you back together.
Oh shit, that's true. Yeah, shit. Not even think of that.
Crazy. So
you wouldn't even just die either. Yeah, you just
versus like Ace's fire, right? Yeah, that would go out if Ace died because that's like a direct correlation to.
Okay, I see what's going on now. I understand it now.
R.I.P. Porcus the Ace.
Okay. Last one from me. Last one. Do you know when we're shown that the scene recently when Aokiji joins Blackbeard's crew, and before that, like when he's in the bar speaking to Blackbeard, and he literally freezes everyone. He could have literally one-shotted the whole crew.
Yeah, low key.
Why didn't he do it?
He should have.
Why didn't he do it? That guy's a prick. He should have done that shit, bro.
Bro, because he had no motivation, bro. He was like, I don't know what. Low key, bro. Man, I used to fuck with Aokiji heavy, bro. But I don't know, bro.
Until he did that shit.
Bro, because before he did that shit with Blackbeard, I thought, okay, he finna be going on his like vigilante type mode. Like, it's gonna be valid. And I'm like, dang, you really just a bitch. That's crazy.
Listen.
he lost. And it was like, damn, I guess my life is cooked now.
Let me go be a bitch with someone else.
I guess my life is cooked now. I guess I have nothing else I can do. Let me just join the Blackbeard Pirates?
Listen.
Okay.
Listen. To defend Aokiji here for a second. What is justice really, right? What is justice? Let's talk about it.
Here we go with Dwight.
but he could have still followed his sense of justice afterward, and he could have just, you know what I'm saying, done the vigilante shit.
But what if he is following his sense of justice? Like, you got to realize the world government and the Marines are corrupted. Akainu proves that, right? And since he lost that fight, it's clear what side the Marines are on, right? It's clearly where the direction the Marines are going. Who at the time was the biggest op to the Marines? Blackbeard.
Yeah,
Blackbeard.
I guess it was.
Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Still kind of is the biggest op to the Marines. Luffy's is a close second, you know, with the introduction of Gear 5.
Buggy. Talk about it.
Buggy D Clown, put some respect on his name. Yes, is one of the biggest ops. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, Blackbeard. At the time, Blackbeard was the biggest ops to the Marines. Who has the knowledge?
Why is
because Blackbeard and only one has the knowledge to wield 2 devil fruits. He also definitely has knowledge of the Lost Century and things like that. He's also part of the D clan as well, and he has the biggest fleet out of. So,
I mean, Luffy declared a whole war against the world government. Wouldn't he be considered the number one up to the
but
Marines?
Where
Blackbeard already went to war versus the.
Where was Luffy when all of it was going down? He was training on some unknown island. Like there was no.
True.
Bro, this man punched a celestial dragon, which is like unthinkable in the One Piece world, and it declared war to the world government by shooting down the flag.
Blackbeard is actively targeting them, right?
Yeah,
he's actively charging into Marineford. Luffy is a time.
What was Marine?
Luffy's a time and place type nigga. Like Luffy's not about to be like, guys, let's go get the military. Blackbeard's like, nah, let's go get these fruits. Let's go kidnap Kobe. Let's go, let's go kill Garp. Let's fuck them up real quick. Luffy's just like, if they're in my way, I'm going to shoot you down. Blackbeard's just like, I'm after all y'all. I'm coming after all y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why Aokiji joined him, because he's kind of using the Blackbeard pirates to take down the twisted sense of justice that failed him.
And that's what I thought too. But then the way he was acting versus Garp, it was just kind of like he was like coming up with a whole new outlook on life. And I'm like, is he like just like gonna be on Blackbeard's side full stop? Like that's how it kind of seemed.
That's what it looks like.
We could be wrong, but that the way he acted made it seem that way.
But that's the thing. In order to tear down the establishment, he has to tear down people upholding the establishment. And love it or hate it, Garp is one of those people.
But it's not necessarily even about him defeating Garp. It's more about what he was saying and the way he was acting. Like made me kind of feel like he was basically almost like gearing towards like, because the way he was talking to Garp was kind of like, I'm finding my new life now. I'm changing my ways now, which maybe that is him just breaking out of the military mold.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm just bugging, but to me, it kind of seemed like, okay, he's actually just gonna be on Blackbeard's side. Like just what he's doing, like not even for ulterior motives. He's just like, fuck it. Like I'm just going to be on that timing.
For his vibes, would you say?
Yeah. For the vibe.
Yeah, basically. But man,
shout out to Royal.
I honestly hope I'm wrong. I honestly hope I'm wrong, because I think that'd be way cooler if he wasn't doing that. But
that's Emu's biggest fear. Interesting.
Also, that's what potentially makes him a bigger threat to the world government, because he actually
that makes sense. Yeah,
to not only just revert their control, but to take their place, which is more scary.
But do you know what would piss me off? If Emu is actually that pigeon, that flipping duck.
The what?
If Emu is actually that what was it? Vivi's bird.
Wait, is that a theory?
That's
wasn't the bird called Emu too?
No, the bird was called the duck. Like what was Vivi's?
Moo.
No, it was called something. Was it actually Emu? Wait, hold on.
Was it not?
Live theory?
Who's duck?
No,
Vivi's duck.
Vivi's duck was called Karu.
What was it? Okay.
Karu.
No, so why is that? Why is there a scene of like Vivi's duck sitting on the chair where Emu is supposed to be sat?
Wait, that's a scene?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It is.
Was it?
You remember?
Oh, wasn't Karu the one that got Sabo out of there? Is that he got Sabo and Cobra? Well, Cobra didn't make it, but he got Sabo and Cobra out of there. If I remember that, I have to go back and read.
I've not seen Karu in a while.
Why do they have a pre and post time skip for the fucking duck? I hate this community.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember that. I don't know.
I hate this.
Maybe I'm tripping. But I feel like we relatively have kind of come to an end of combo. I guess to just take us away, we could do something lighthearted. No, that's gonna be too easy. We kind of did that already. I mean,
I was going through them. A lot of them, they were baked in.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like, who's your favorite character, but I feel like most people already said. Yeah. Damn near Zoro was most people's.
Now hold up.
I guess I'll say mine. Mine is Law. So yeah.
You want to be cool so bad. You want to be cool so
my
bad.
my favorite characters.
Did Cardiac really start anime with Boruto? Yes.
My favorite
You
character.
found that.
That's crazy. That's
Boruto and Super were my first anime that I set out. I'm gonna watch anime on Verve.
my favorite character of One Piece is actually Luffy. My favorite character is Luffy.
You basic
Okay.
bitch.
I am, and I'll own it. You're right, 100% basic bitch.
This is you. All right. This
You know what?
No,
This
that's
is what
crazy.
you are. This is a good source of calcium.
You know what? That shit tastes good though. So that's why you got it.
I mean, shit. Hey, you see it's empty. So I mean, shit.
Oh my
Pause.
goodness.
By the way, because then you connect that. I'm eating. Pause.
Monkey D. Luffy, the GOAT.
Type shit.
Shout out to that Monkey D, man. But in other words, that's all from us, man. Unless anyone has anything else to say, I think this was an amazing meeting. Right, we deduced River's amazing, horrible opinions on this legendary series.
You have worse opinions. But
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
You said it sucks.
One Piece is my number one on my any manga list, and that's technically a spoiler, but not really because I've already said that it's like one of the greatest pieces of fiction I've ever read, only behind like Communist Manifesto. And like,
wait, what?
What?
Anywho, man, shout out to Oda. Shout out to my father, Oda.
Okay.
Shout out to my father, Ichiro Oda. Get well soon. Nothing's wrong, but I know there is. You're just not letting people know. So shout out to you. What's it called? Manga could be hurting, bruh. Like we can act like we can act like this.
Shout out Oda, man. Shout out to all the guys for coming through, man. I know we didn't really necessarily do formal introductions, man, but shout out to the GOAT RJ as always for coming through, man. Make sure y'all go check out his content over on the Rise. Sure, linked in the title and shit, man. Always great videos. What are the most underrated on the platform? Question mark. I mean, maybe.
Most consistent YouTuber that covers anime.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Most underrated anime channel on the platform.
The flows, Annie Tuber of the year for 2024. Come on.
I appreciate
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I appreciate it.
Spoiler.
And then of course DJ for coming back on after a while, man. It's great having you back talking to peace. As you know, you love to do. I know because you be this guy before I was called up, still sending me messages, bro. I'm telling you, this new shit that just happened, like, bro, catch up, bro. Hey, but now we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Now we can talk about
time, but
yeah. No, but great. Thanks for coming on again. WW guest appearance, and also Omar for coming through. You know, for another W pod talking One Piece. You know, it's always great to have you as well.
Thank you.
Shit.
Shout out to the boys, man.
The boys, the guys. Shout out to Az that had to leave early. Shout out to Mr. Kizzle for being quote unquote Steve Harvey. And yeah, man. Not to I know just to get the like and subscribe off real quick. Like and sub, man. Follow the Twitch and all of that. Subscribe. Actually, matter of fact, subscribe because if y'all don't, if we don't hit 1,000 by the end of the year, the pod is done, bro. We're ending it. Channels being sold.
Selling
the channel.
Selling to RJ actually. So.
Yeah, RJ was one of the top buyers. So
yeah, it was a pre-pod convo.
Yeah,
the OTR
he got his money
LLC
up, so y'all get y'all funny up.
The OTR LLC is we're trying to grow it, so you know we're trying to buy out the flow real quick. We can. I think we can do that
type shit.
What did they call that? When you just conquer the market in business, I forgot
Monopoly?
what this is called. Well, that as well. That is. I mean, you have to buy. You know, good. Totally not Mark.
True.
And not the channels, the people. But
that's slavery. But okay.
That's slavery. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, man. Yeah.
And that's been all from us, man. So we'll catch y'all later. Next time. Thank you for checking out the episode. Flow out.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.